Today we will, hello students, today we will study the phylum Chordata. So the animals which belong to phylum Chordata has the following characteristics. What kind of characteristics do they have? The notochord is present. Notochord is present, and they have a dorsal hollow nerve cord. Dorsal hollow nerve cord. The third one, they have paired pharyngeal gill slits. Gill slits. What kind of symmetry do they have? They are bilateral, symmetrical. Diploblastic or triploblastic? They are triploblastic. Triploblastic, coelomate. What kind of body organization they have? They have organ system level of body organization. So what are the characteristics of phylum Chordata? Notochord is present. A dorsal backside hollow nerve cord is present, and they have paired pharyngeal gill slits openings. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic, coelomate, and they have organ system level of body organization. Phylum Chordata, it is divided into three subphyla. Urochordata or Tunicata, that is the first one. The second one is Cephalochordata. And the last one is Vertebrata. Both of them, Urochordata or Tunicata and Cephalochordata, these two are known as protochordates. These two are known as protochordates. And they are exclusively marine. Both of them are exclusively marine. That means all of them live in sea. So Urochordata or Tunicata and Cephalochordata, they are known as protochords, former. They arrived earlier, and they are exclusively marine. But what happens in Urochordata? Larval tail. In larval tail, only notochord is present. In Urochordata, what happens? Larval tail is present only in notochord, while in Cephalochordata, what happens? Head to tail notochord extends from head to tail region and is totally persistent throughout their life. It remains there. So basic difference here, in Urochordata or Tunicata, what happens? The larval tail, a notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in Cephalochordata, notochord extends from head to tail, and they are persistent throughout their whole life. This particular thing is found. So examples of Urochordata. What are examples of Urochordata? Ascidia, Salpa, and Doliolum. So what are examples of Urochordata? Ascidia, Salpa, and Doliolum. And what is the example of Cephalochordata? What are the examples? So Branchiostoma, Amphioxus, and Amphioxus is also known by the name of lanceolate. So the examples of Urochordata are Ascidia, Salpa, Doliolum, and example of cephalochordata are Branchiostoma, Amphioxus, or lanceolate. Now let's make a figure. We have this space, okay. Ascidia. That's the figure of Ascidia or Ascidia, whatever it is. So this is the example of Ascidia. Let's extend it a bit. This is the example of Ascidia. Now let us move on. So we had discussion on Urochordata and Cephalochordata. Now it is the turn of the subphylum Vertebrata. These possess notochord. During the embryonic period. And this particular notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony, what is it? Vertebral column when they become adult. So subphylum Vertebrata, they possess notochord during the embryonic period, and they are replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column when they become adult. So therefore all vertebrates, they can be chordates, but all chordates not vertebrates. All chordates are not vertebrates. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So these vertebrates, beside having a ventral vascular, beside having this particular vertebral column, they have a ventral muscular heart. And the heart might have 2, 3, or 4 chambers. How many chambers? 2, 3, or 4 chambers. They might have 2, 3, or 4 chambers. And the vertebrates have kidneys. Kidneys for what? Excretion. and osmoregulation. Balance of fluid in the body, that is called osmoregulation. So they have kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and they might have paired appendages. Attachments, appendages. They might have paired appendages, which may be fins or limbs. Frogs have limbs, fins. Fishes have fins. So, vertebrata, they possess notochord during the embryonic period, and that particular notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column when they become adult. And the vertebrates also have ventral muscular heart, ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. They have kidneys for excretion or osmoregulation, and they have paired appendages in the form of fins or limbs. So, subphylum Vertebrata, it is further divided, It is further divided into Agnatha, that is, here jaw, these don't have jaw. Gnathostomata, okay. Gnathostomata, these bear jaws. It has got only one class. What is that particular class? Cyclostomata. Why the Gnathostomata that bears jaws? It has two classes, superclass. It has one superclass which is divided into two classes. Pisces, these bear fins. And the class, this is the first superclass, and this is the Tetrapoda. This is the second superclass, and it bears limbs. So here the classes are, first, there are two classes here. First one is chondrichthyes. The second one is Ostichthyes. The first one is class Amphibia. Number 2, Reptilia. Third, Apes. Fourth, Mammals. So the subphylum Vertebrata is further divided into Agnatha, which lacks jaw, and it has one class by the name of Cyclostomata. The second one is Gnathostomata. It bears jaws. It lacks jaws. It bears jaws. It possesses jaws. Superclass. It has two superclass: Pisces, which bears fins, and Tetrapoda, which bears limbs. So Chondrichthyes, Ostichthyes, Amphibia, Reptilia, Apes, and Mammals. So let us discuss the difference between chordates and non-chordates. Difference between chordates and non-chordates. Notocode. In terms of notocode, is notocode present? Yes, it's present in chordates, but it is absent in non-chordates. Central nervous system. Central nervous system. Here it is dorsal, hollow and single. Here it is dorsal, hollow and single. Here it is ventral. Here it is not hollow, it is solid, and here it is double. In non-chordates, what is that? Ventral. Here it's dorsal, here it's ventral, hollow, solid, single, double. Gill slits. What kind of gill slits are there? They are pharynx perforated, perforated by gill slits. Pharynx here perforated by gill slits, but here gill slits absent. Gill slits absent. Heart here is ventral. Here it is dorsal. But the condition here is if present. If not present, then there is no case. Post-anal tail. A post-anal tail. Post-anal tail. It is here present and here it is absent. So that's the basic difference here between chordates and non-chordates. Notochord present, here it's absent. Central nervous system. What kind of central nervous system is it? It's a dorsal, hollow and single. Here it's ventral, solid and double. Gill slits, here pharynx perforated by gill slits. Here gill slits are absent. Heart ventral, either dorsal, here it's dorsal if present. A post-anal tail, here it is present and here it is absent. Let's discuss now the salient features of different phyla. In a nutshell, first one is level of organization. Level of organization. Porifera. It's cellular. We find tissue level in Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Ctenophora and Cnidaria tissue level. Platyhelminthes, both organ and organ level, and the rest from Aschelminthes to chordates. What is it? It is organ system level. This is organ and organ system level. So level of organization, porifera, it is cellular. They are cellular, that means they are loose cell aggregates, but they don't form tissues. Now Ctenophora and Cnidaria, they have tissue level of organization. Platyhelminthes, organ and organ level system. Aschelminthes to chordates, organ system level. Now the second one is symmetry. Porifera. In porifera, what happens? The sponges are asymmetrical. Sponges are, it has irregular shape. Sponges have irregular shape and they are asymmetrical. But the cycon, which is cylindrical. Cyclen is in cylindrical form and it has radial symmetrical. It has radial symmetry. So low level of organization in terms of symmetry, porifera, sponges are mostly asymmetrical, but cycon, sponges are irregular in shape. Cycon, which is cylindrical in shape, it has radial symmetry. Now what about the others? Ctenophora, Cnidaria, and Echinodermata. Echinodermata. Ctenophora, Cnidaria, and Echinodermata, they have radial symmetry. They have radial symmetry, while the others are bilateral symmetrical. In Echinodermata, what happens? The larval stage is bilateral symmetrical. But when they become adult, they become radial symmetrical. So in terms of symmetry, porifera in sponges are asymmetrical and they are irregular in shape. Second one is cycon, which is cylindrical in shape, and they are radial symmetrical. Apart from that, Ctenophora, Cnidaria, and Echinodermata, when they become adult, all these three have radial symmetrical. There is an interesting fact about Echinodermata. When it is a larval stage, it is bilateral symmetrical. When they become adult, they become radial symmetrical.